Welcome back to my class, dear students. After a very long time of corona pandemic, this is my first attendance to you. So, very welcome back to my class. We are going through a very bad circumstances. You know it very well because of corona pandemic. Already our government has suggested us many ways to follow to save our life. So we were absent for a long time, and the main precautions was to save our life, and the main suggestion, main advice was stay at home and save your life. So in this situation we were in very critical circumstances. Though you are also in a critical circumstances, and our education system is going through a very critical system also. So I am asking your attention to my class. Before closing the college, we had started the question number 4, English second paper, and that was completing sentence with the help of guideline. See in the board. You know it very well because it is very similar to your SSC syllabus. You have already passed your SSC, so it is very well known to you. But there is a little difference between the SSC and HSC completing. In the HSC completing sentences, there are 1 or 2 more sentences for helping you, and you have to understand the sentences, the meaning of the sentence. Then you will be able to complete the sentence. And to complete the sentence, you have to follow some grammatical rules. And we have had our books already. I have told them, but after a long time, I want to remind you again. And the rules were: first, you have to remember the conditions, 3 conditions. 3 conditions. Of if. It remains always hidden. The first condition was, if plus present future indefinite with future indefinite or with modal auxiliaries such as can, may, should, must, can be used. you can use here if you work hard. দেখা যাচ্ছে এত নিচ থেকে? If you work hard, future you will prosper in life, or here you can use in place of will you can use can, may, should or must if necessary for completing the meaning of the sentence. Then the next condition, condition number 2. If plus past here you can use could, would, might. Might always follow the base form of principal verb or main verb. Such as, here is an example. If I saw you, if I saw you, I could, would or might, any one of this. I could talk to you, or I could meet you. Just relevant verb needed. To complete the meaning of the sentence, just you can use the relevant verb. I mean প্রাসঙ্গিক আর কি। Then the last condition, condition number 3, if plus past perfect here you can use would, could, might, with, have. That means would have, could have or might have. And would have, could have, might have always followed with PP of the principal verb. PV, PP. And the extension you can use with the meaning of the sentence. For example, if Rohim past perfect had studied past participle verb, studied attentively or heard attentively. The next, he could, would or might with have. That means could have. He could have made, scored, earned, obtained, any one of the four, made a good result. Okay, we have already seen the 3 conditions. You know, in the completing sentences, Three conditions are very important. And you must have one or two sentences in the question in every year. So it is most important, and you have to follow it correctly. Oh yes, there are an alternative form of condition number 2 or 3. I had shown you before closing the class. I can remember it, or otherwise I have to remind you. ফোনটা ধরে বলে দিন তো, যে যদি আসে ফোনটা ধরে বলে দিন ক্লাসে আছে। Yes, just follow the alternative form of condition number 2 or 3. Condition 2 and 3. And it is just look at if is equal to had. I mean, if will be unseen and had will take the place of it, and this had will work as if and also auxiliary verb or main verb where necessary. Just look at had I much money, had I much money, here there is if is unseen, just had take the place of it, and this had is working as if and also working as a main verb, because without had there is no main verb in this clause or in this verb. So had is working both as if and as the main verb in standing the place of if, in taking the place of if. So this is the question, condition number 2. If, that means had, and also had as a main verb, past time tense, the past form of have. That means if I had much money, just look at if I had much money. This sentence will be the form of just had I much money. Okay? And look at the next clause, next part, you have to complete. Had I much money, that means যদি আমার অনেক টাকা থাকতো, what will you do? You can buy a scooty, car, or can also get married 2 times. I would help the poor. This is the second condition. This is the alternative form of second condition. You can look at another example. Had I the wings of a bird. Had I the wings of a bird. Wings means dana, pakha. যদি পাখির মতো আমার ডানা থাকতো, I could fly in the sky. Okay, I think you are clear. You have understood the items. Then the alternative form of condition 3. Just look at, because it is the repetition of that class. Before closing the college, we also attended the same class. I just use it to remind you the formula, the rules. Had I, had he, had he been a footballer, had he been a footballer, যদি সে ফুটবলার হতো, ফুটবল খেলোয়াড় হতো, just look at, this is the past perfect tense, that means condition number 3. How? See, look at, had, if equal to had, that means had takes the place of if. Here had is working both as if and also an auxiliary verb for the first perfect tense. That means he had been a footballer. Just had is before the sentence, beginning the sentence for if. Had he been a footballer, যদি সে ফুটবল খেলোয়াড় হতো, he could have would have, might have, any one of this. He could have earned a good reputation, অথবা huge money, or a lot of money, you know, a lot of, a phrase, প্রচুর. And to see you in another example, the condition number 3, the alternative form. Had I worked hard, I might have been a successful man. The Bengali meaning is, আমি যদি কঠোর পরিশ্রম করতাম তাহলে আমি একজন সফল ব্যক্তি হতে পারতাম. Okay, 3 conditions are completed. In case of your a little bit shortness of understanding, বুঝার যদি ঘাটতি থাকে, you can also see your books before starting the chapter. You will see the rules, and you have to understand and practice again and again for the completing sentence. And next, there are another formulas you have to follow, another rules. You know, relative pronoun. Relative pronoun. We use who, which, that commonly as the relative pronoun, as relative pronouns, and it is very important. If you look at the questions, if you look at the question number 4, you can see the uses of relative pronoun again and again in many sentences. So it is most important. And you have to understand the items. You have to understand the complex sentences. You must follow. You must understand the use of relative pronoun. You know, relative pronoun. How can it be used? Relative pronoun. Relative means to relate the remaining part of the sentence just with using a verb. Look at the example. I know the man. Relative pronoun is always used after the noun or pronoun, which relates the verb of the next part of the sentence. Here you can use, it is noun, you can use the relative pronoun after a person. After a person, you have to use who. In other cases, you can use which or that. Here we have to use who. I know the man who. Here will be in verb, to complete the meaning of the sentence. Just follow. I know the man who is. You can use is. According to the noun. Here who means this noun. So, understanding and thinking the person and number of the noun, you have to use the verb after the relative pronoun. I know the man who is my brother, father, friend, anything, just to complete the sentence, to complete the meaning of the sentence. I know the man who is my friend. Look at the use of relative pronoun. I mean, relative pronoun is always used after the noun or pronoun. Look at another example. It is I. I is a person, so here you should use who, and there will be a verb. There will be a verb with the context of the sentence or to complete the meaning. You have just take it for complete the meaning. It is I who, according to this pronoun, you have to use the verb. I. Look at, understand the assume or understand the number and person of this pronoun. You can use here am, not is, because after I, you always use am, not is or are. So it is, many times the students always make a mistake. After I, they use here is. This is not correct. The correction is after I, you have to use am, according to this pronoun. It is I who am your classmate, yearmate, or friend. So, I have mentioned to you the relative pronoun. Who is that? Commonly used. Relative pronoun is always used after the noun or pronoun. If the noun is a person, you have to use who. Or in other cases, you have to who is or that. That's no problem. There is an interesting difference between the relative pronoun or conjunction. The formation relative pronoun is also used as a conjunction. This formula is also used in the question number 4. Just look at. You have to understand the difference between the relative pronoun and the conjunction. You know, we always use that as a conjunction to relate the meaningful clauses to meaningful clauses. Just look at. I know that he is a teacher. Here that is not relative pronoun. Here that is a conjunction. If you think it as a relative pronoun, then it will be a mistake, great mistake. Before understanding the difference, we have to, I want to present two sentences, then you will see the difference between the relative pronoun and the conjunction. It was the book that was stolen. Here you can also use an adverb, last night. Just look at. Here that is a relative pronoun, here that is a conjunction. The difference, after that, just look at, after that, the subject, the pronoun, the subject, and verb. But in case of relative pronoun, after that, there is no pronoun. There is no subject, just a verb. That is the difference. And you look at the similar sentences, you have to understand. That means যদি that এর পরে কোনো pronoun না থাকে তাহলে ধরে নিতে হবে, who is that এর পরে যদি কোনো pronoun না থাকে তাহলে ধরে নিতে হবে আমাদের সেটা হচ্ছে আমাদের relative pronoun, আর যদি noun or pronoun থাকে তাহলে সেটা ধরে নিতে হবে আমাদের এটা conjunction. Just look at the example. I know the man. I know the man. You can use it as a guideline sentence, helping sentence. Then you have to complete the next clause. It can be just like that. Just look at me. Do you know? Where? Here, where is a conjunction, not any WS question. Here, where is used just like the last sentence, where I saw you, the difference between the relative pronoun and the conjunction. Similarly, where is a conjunction. Here, where is a conjunction. It is used to relate the clauses, the last remaining part of the sentence. And here will be a clause. How can you use the meaning of this sentence to complete the remaining part of the clause of the sentence? Do you know? I know the man. That is the helping sentence, I know the man. And the next question to complete, just questioning you. Do you know? Tumi ki jano? Where? No doubt, the sentence will be an interrogative sentence because the sentence begins with an auxiliary verb. But after where, the remaining clause, the remaining part of the sentence never can be interrogative. It will be always assertive. You know, assertive sentence. Do you know where? You can use as, do you know, tumi jano, kothay she bash kore, kothay she thake. Just like it. Where he lives. Where he lives. Do you know where he lives? Or, okay, my time is over now, so I have to end my class. But before that, I want to give you an advice. If you want to do well in the question number 4, you have to practice again and again, and you have to memorize the rules that are used for question number 4. Okay, see you in the next class. I'll show you the remaining formulas, or the rest formulas for completing the sentences, question number item 4. Okay, thank you, bye.